Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiancé's Darcey Silva told off by Georgi Rusev in awkward exchange. Georgi Rusev and Darcey Silva traveled to Bulgaria to meet his parents and deepen their relationship. The resulting dinner exposed some issues and tension. Now, the couple are further dissecting their communication issues on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. It was Georgi's first visit back to Bulgaria after 13 years, and he hoped it would go smoothly. So he was quiet and standoffish the morning after. 90-Day Fiancé fans got to see just why he felt so ashamed afterwards during a pillow talk session on the latest episode. And the mid-season trailer indicates trouble in paradise. "I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus or us into the bus," Darcey answered. "I just want help for us because we're at that phase in our relationship where something needs to give." The fashion designer felt opening up would help her bond and get closer with Georgi's parents. Meanwhile, her husband didn't want them to worry. Darcey asked if that is why Georgi doesn't tell her stuff. He confirmed that he also doesn't want to worry her. "I don't want to look like a failure," he shared. "I mean, they've been in 40 years of marriage because they know how to save the marriage for 40 years. Because if your marriage is a failure, then you are a failure and you don't want to support somebody, especially your parents." Georgi continued, "All of this pressure is on me now. I have to prove that I make the right decision." Darcey supported her man by saying his parents are proud of him. She also offered her help and support. She suggested that they now move towards the future. Darcey explained that both she and Georgi will need to be more open. Meanwhile, the Bulgarian native feels that that is hard for him, though he called the plan a good step. "This is the most open that Georgi's been with me in a long time," Darcey said in a confessional interview. "I'll believe that what he's saying is true and that he really wants to open up more. So seeing is believing." Darcey and Georgi are a favorite couple on 90-Day Fiancé. But will they last? 90-Day Fiancé's Darcey Silva told off by Georgi Rusev in awkward exchange. When it comes to the world of 90-Day Fiancé, few stars have commanded the spotlight quite like Darcey Silva. Known for her tearful confessions, glamorous transformations, and roller coaster romances, Darcey has been a fixture in the franchise for years. But her ongoing saga with Bulgarian model Georgi Rusev may have just reached a new peak of discomfort. Fans witnessed one of the most awkward exchanges between the couple yet, when Georgi, typically soft-spoken, shocked everyone by telling Darcey off in a way that left her stunned into silence. It all happened during what was supposed to be a casual dinner in front of friends and family. Darcey, as always, was hoping to present the perfect image, polished, empowered, and in control. But when she brought up their rocky past and questioned whether Georgi was truly committed to her future, he snapped in a way that no one saw coming. The build-up of tension. Darcey has always worn her heart on her sleeve. Whether in her earlier relationships with Jesse or Tom, or her passionate yet tumultuous connection with Georgi, she has made it clear that she wants love, marriage, and a fairy tale ending. Yet, as fans know all too well, Darcey's search for that happily ever after often comes with drama. For months, whispers had circulated that Darcey and Georgi weren't fully aligned. Rumors of financial strain, jealousy, and mismatched goals plagued the couple. While Georgi seemed content taking life day by day, Darcey's vision of wedding bells and shared bank accounts felt urgent. Their differences finally boiled over at the dinner table, where Georgi's calm exterior cracked. The exchange that stunned fans. Darcey began the conversation in her signature style, emotional, dramatic, and tinged with desperation. "I just don't want to feel like I'm giving my heart to someone who doesn't see my worth," she said, her hands trembling slightly as she gestured across the table. "Georgi, you've made me feel like I'm not enough sometimes, and I deserve more than that." Normally, Georgi would offer a measured response, his voice low and steady, often placating Darcey to avoid escalation. But this time he didn't. "Darcey," he interrupted firmly, I'm tired of you always making me look like the bad guy. Every time we are around people, you bring up my mistakes. You want me to change, but you don't see how you treat me. You don't make me feel respected. And I'm not going to just sit here and let you make me look small in front of everyone." The room went silent. Darcey blinked rapidly, clearly not expecting such bluntness from the man she often controlled the narrative around. For once, Georgie's frustration broke through, and it was raw. Darcey's reaction. True to form, Darcey didn't take the criticism lightly. She reached for her wine glass, took a sip, and tried to compose herself. Her lips trembled, but her eyes narrowed, signaling that her defensive walls were shooting up. "I don't try to make you look bad," she said, her voice wavering between hurt and anger. "I've been through so much in love. All I want is honesty and security. If you can't give me that, then maybe you're right. Maybe we don't belong together." It was a bold statement, but one that carried more sting than sincerity. Fans watching couldn't tell if Darcey truly meant it, or if she was testing Georgi to see how he'd respond. Georgi stands his ground. In a rare show of self-assurance, Georgi didn't back down. "You always say you want honesty, Darcey," he shot back, his accent sharpening his words. "This is honesty. I love you, but I can't keep being your punching bag. You want the perfect man, the perfect relationship, but you don't look at what you bring. You want me to change, but you don't change yourself." The guests at the table shifted uncomfortably, caught between the unraveling drama and their plates of untouched food. Darcey, visibly shaken, looked down at her hands, as though weighing whether to cry, storm off, or fight back. The public versus private Darcey. Part of what makes Darcey such a polarizing reality star is her ability to oscillate between vulnerability and self-promotion. On one hand, she is a hopeless romantic, desperate for validation and love. On the other, she is a savvy businesswoman, aware that her public image thrives on the drama that comes from her messy love life. This moment with Georgi, however, felt different. It wasn't staged, rehearsed, or edited to maximize sympathy. It was raw, and it exposed cracks in Darcey's usual control of the narrative. For once, Georgi had seized the spotlight, and fans couldn't stop buzzing about it online. Fan reactions pour in. Social media exploded almost immediately after the episode aired. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "Finally Georgi speaks up. Darcey can't keep blaming everyone else for her relationship problems. This was hard to watch, but necessary." Another posted, "I love Darcey, but Georgi wasn't wrong. She does bring up his past mistakes constantly. Awkward, but he had a point." Of course, Darcey also had her defenders. Many argued that her emotional history and repeated heartbreak justified her fears, and that Georgi could have been more empathetic. Darcey's been burned so many times. She just wants reassurance. Georgi could have explained himself without embarrassing her in front of others, one fan commented. The bigger picture. This clash wasn't just about one dinner or one argument. It symbolized the broader challenges in Darcey and Georgi's relationship. Their dynamic has always hinged on imbalance. Darcey chasing a vision of love that feels elusive, and Georgi resisting the pressure to transform into someone he isn't. In many ways, Georgi's outburst may have been less about Darcey's criticisms and more about reclaiming his voice. For too long, he had been the silent partner, the man in the background of Darcey's spotlight. By standing up to her, he not only changed the course of their relationship, but also shifted how fans perceive him. What's next for Darcey and Georgi? If history has taught viewers anything, it's that Darcey rarely walks away quietly. Whether or not this confrontation ends their relationship, it will certainly fuel more drama in episodes to come. Will Darcey retreat into her usual patterns, seeking comfort in a makeover, a new relationship, or another declaration of independence? Or will she finally reflect on Georgi's words and consider her own role in their issues? As for Georgi, Fans are eager to see if he continues to assert himself or if this was a one-time eruption of pent-up frustration. His decision to call Darcey out in public suggests a shift in his tolerance. But whether that leads to a breakup or a breakthrough remains to be seen. The awkward truth. At its heart, this exchange was awkward not just because it was confrontational, but because it stripped away the layers of illusion that Darcey so carefully builds. Reality television thrives on messiness, and this moment delivered it in spades. For Darcey, being told off by Georgi was a public reminder that love, no matter how desperately she seeks it, can't be forced into perfection. For Georgi, it was a declaration that he refuses to be cast as the silent villain in her ongoing quest for romance. Whether viewers side with Darcey or Georgi, one thing is clear. This won't be the last awkward dinner exchange we see from the fiery pair.